Today we will be talking about what is Scratch, but before we start, be sure that you have subscribed to Sir Eric and of course here. Please click the bell icon to be updated with new videos. Let me introduce myself. I am Sir Eric's other virtual assistant Sir Yako. It's nice to meet you. Now, let us start. On this lesson, we will be able to define what is Scratch and what it can do. We will also be talking about its core principles and its short history. For your lesson outcome, be sure that you will be able to 1. Define what Scratch is, and what it can do. 2. Recognize the core principles behind Scratch. 3. Recall facts about the development of the Scratch programming language. For many people, writing code for a computer program, even a simple one, is like digging with a shovel and means memorizing and manually writing countless lines of commands in different programming languages, and this may be occasionally true. Programs won't function without code to tell it what to do, and writing code is too complex for an ordinary person without education in computer programming. So, how does someone write code without actually doing it? Introducing Scratch programming. What is Scratch? Scratch is a visual programming language that uses graphical elements called blocks to form commands in place of writing lines of code. The blocks are so named because they snap together just like Lego blocks to form the entire code of the program. Snapping several kinds of blocks together lets a Scratch user create interactive presentations, or even simple games. Scratch takes its name from scratching, a technique from the music genres of hip-hop and club music which requires a DJ moving a vinyl record on a turntable to produce scratching sound effects in sync with another music track, creating a remix. In the same way, Scratch users create their projects by mixing graphics and sound with code. Core principles of Scratch is a creative freedom. Like other kind of free, open source software or FOSS, the Scratch programming language encourages its users to share, reuse, and combine code in new and interesting ways. Once uploaded to the community site, Scratch projects are also open for modification and customization from other users or a remix of their original work. The platform credits both the original uploader of the project, and the remix creator. Scratch design principles. The development and growth of Scratch are also guided by three main design principles. Imagine, program and share. Imagine, Scratch is more thinkable. Scratch has the same look and feel as Lego bricks when children attempt to tinker and construct structures out of the bricks. Scratch uses graphical programming blocks to create a program. Scratch is more meaningful. Real-life activities are the most successful tools in learning, which is why Scratch supports different themes for stories, games, animations, and simulations which can be customized in projects. Share, Scratch is more social. Collaboration or sharing is embedded in the Scratch user interface, which allows members to support one another, collaborate with each other, and critique each other's work. Here is a short history of Scratch. Scratch is a relatively new programming language, but it has roots in older graphical programming languages, specifically the Logo programming language. Logo was developed back in 1967 through the efforts of Daniel G. Dobrow, Wally Ferzig, Seymour Papert, and Cynthia Solomon, all of whom were computer scientists and educators working out of the Bolt, Baranek, and Newman Research Firm in Cambridge, Massachusetts. Logo allowed a user to direct the movements of an on-screen turtle, making it walk and turn as commanded. This led to the development of the so-called turtle graphics concept, blocks of program commands stacked together. It was also found out that Logo helped significantly when it came to teaching children about geometry. The Massachusetts Institute of Technology Media Lab took the next step in developing Logo by introducing Star Logo, which also used graphical blocks to represent commands. In 2003, the MIT Media Lab's kindergarten group led by Mitchell Resnick introduced the first version of Scratch to the world. To date, two main versions of Scratch have been released. The first, desktop-only version of Scratch was released in 2003, and it was followed by 4 updates over several years. On May 9, 2013, Scratch 2.0 was released. This version introduced the browser-based, online editor aside from the one installed locally. And that was the introduction of Scratch programming and its short history. Next time we will be talking about the Scratch user interface. Subscribe Sir Eric. Kazabat.